I dug and built a swimming pool myself, including a heating system and also a folding cover, and you can watch all of those videos on this YouTube channel right now. But now I want to talk to you about how much it cost me. So let's get started. The digger cost £837 to hire and the whacker plates £76 to hire for 3 weeks, and I did use them on one other job as well. Obviously I wanted to save as much money as I could, and one of those ways was getting rid of all of this spoil with a grab lorry, and I probably would have needed about 2 or 3 to get rid of this. But fortunately a mate of mine who lives down the way has got loads of land and he didn't mind us getting rid of it, and then he can spread it about afterwards. I hope you enjoy my genius way of getting it off the back of the trailer every time. Honestly guys, this wasn't in the local park. The damp proof membrane was £25 each, and I got 2 of those, so basically 50 quid, whilst the 10mm rebar and the little tool that I bought to clip them all together and the stainless steel wraps that go with it, and I'll be using those for years and years after this video, 284 quid. The EPS foam insulation on the bottom came to 285 quid. The mesh rebar lays down was actually a favour. I got that free from a guy who I'd done some plumbing work for, never charged him for it, and he just said, here you go mate, you can have it. Rebar spacers was £16 and I probably used about 5 quid's worth of duct tape. The 2 sumps, although showing a list price of £62 each, I think I got for about £50 each, and the adapters and pipework that you can see underneath here probably came to about another 20 quid. Meaning before we put any concrete in the ground, I'd spent £1,672 just getting it all prepared and ready for that stage. Whoa, please don't tell my wife. Then came one of the biggest days of the job so far, pouring the concrete base. That cost us £690 for the guys from TGA to come out for half the day, get all their pipes down and get the base installed. However, that doesn't cover what they were pouring. The concrete came to £598. My mate Harry and his dad were free, although I have helped Harry take out a few incredibly heavy baths since then in payment. We all know this is how the world goes round. So the ICF walls that I bought here, I got off eBay off some guy who'd finished building his house and these were left over. I drove up to Sheffield to get them and they were £900 in cash. Next we had to get the skimmer installed. I got it cheaper than this. I got mine for about 115 quid, so I was chuffed with that. Also, all the acros that you see here I borrowed off my mate Paul. Paul, you're a legend, thanks ever so much. Then came the ICF pour for the walls, 780 quid for the guys for TGA to come and pump it, and 633 quid for the concrete itself. But barring 2 more things that come later in this video, that's it for the Highline big costing in the swimming pool, bringing us to a grand total so far of £5,388. Oh, blimey. The bricks that go around the top were actually another little favour. I'd done a job for a builder that I know when I just got some rads going, and I was back working on site with them, and these bricks were left over on a half pallet that had just been sat there for weeks on end. Couple of quick questions, a few pints here and there to grease the palms, but I did have to buy the brick ties and the sand and cement, and I think that came to about 100 quid. The Seeker Floor 131 cost 120 quid because I think I've got about 4 or 5 bags of that, and the top mounted liner lock came to a whopping 93 quid. But I suppose this stuff is specially designed for it. I know it's just plastic, but it's got a really important job when it comes to the overarching job of the pool. So I guess it's one of those things. After that, it was all about getting the paving in. Now I am going to add this to the whole cost, I guess, of the pool project, but really it shouldn't really be included. So I'll sort of set it to one side. The paving itself cost £1,366.50, sand 350 quid, cement 250 quid, and hardcore 350 quid. And plenty of beers for my mate Rich and my brother Tom for helping us do it along the way. The swimming pool underlay came to £86. That's a massive saving. If you buy the stuff that's exactly the same but is called swimming pool liner underlay, you pretty much would be looking at 600 quid. So that was a big fat saving there. Add on to that about 15 quid for the spray foam underneath, and then what I'd call our next highline cost, the liner itself. Ready? Cheers, mate. The liner came to £732, which when I marry that up to what it would have cost to have tiled the inside of the pool and all the extra work we would have had to have done to the inside of the ICF by lathing it, putting special K-render down or something like that, and then of course the time it takes to do it all, I actually think 700 odd quid is a bargain to do this. It doesn't obviously last as long. This liner will probably last 10 to 15 years if it's well looked after, but I now know how to change it, and hopefully by then it'll be cheaper. When has anything ever got cheaper cheaper in history, I never know. But there you go, that's how much the liner cost. So now let's move on to all the pipework and the components to actually make the pool run. So I installed a solar system to help us power the air source heat pump that we're going to be covering in a few minutes time. I used the EcoFlow Stream Series Advanced set, so that's one EcoFlow Stream Ultra and two EcoFlow Stream batteries for 450 watt rigid solar panels that I put on my kitchen roof. Now, similar to the paving, this isn't actually part of the swimming pool install, but I only installed it because of the swimming pool system. This system worked so well when it came to heating the pool when it was finished that I actually got another battery, and I'll be telling you at the end of this video how much it has been costing us to run this swimming pool in October, which is the worst case scenario time for us so far because I've not run it through a full winter yet. But needless to say, the batteries and the solar panels from EcoFlow have made it very, very cheap for us to run it. I also bought this Keta box off Argos for about 85 quid for it to all go in. The Keta box cost £229. It was a complete pain to build. Now the pump. The pump cost £1,218. The air source heat pump £2,696, and the filtration unit £535. But I need to be honest with you here, guys. I didn't actually have to spend any money on those three components because the company I was buying them off have actually asked me to make them some videos outside of YouTube and outside of this channel. So I suppose I am spending that money because I'm giving them my time for free and also my cameras and my editing, but at the same time, that's what it would have cost me. I didn't actually spend that. And the same goes for all the fittings, pipe work, valves and clips that I used after that, even the glue. The guys at Adway Heat Pumps helped me out so much when it came to this job, and I can't wait to be working with them, sadly outside of this channel, next year. So now we come to the folding pool cover. The cladding cost me 704 quid. The tubing was absolutely completely free. Metals For You just asked me to basically say I got it from them. Amy at Metals For You, if you're still there, I'm so happy. This went so well and your service was absolutely quality. So thanks ever so much for that. Guys, I'll leave links to Metals For You below. When it came to the wheels and the jacks, that pretty much all added up to about 150 quid. And the motor was a very reasonable £139. And then when it comes to consumables and studding like that, I think it was about 20 quid on top. Sadly, for the life of me, I cannot find the receipts for the insulation. I've checked all my emails and everything, but I imagine it was about 150 quid. 100mm EPS is really cheap. Nothing like the foil back stuff. Which brings us to the final total of everything that it's cost so far. I've probably missed a few things out, so give or take 200 or 300 quid. That's probably what I'd say. And the total is not so fast. Let me tell you right now, before I tell you that, how much it's costing me to run this swimming pool over the last 2 or 3 weeks. And we are just coming up to the 16th of October. So the sun is lower in the sky and it's also a lot more cloudier these days as well. Generally during the week, I get in here in the mornings and in the evenings, and we get in here at the weekend as well. Nothing better than a nice chilly starlit night and a swimming pool that's at 34 degrees, plus a nice glass of red wine. But that's my foible. Yeah. So the main reason I'm still able to heat the swimming pool up, and well, for me, I think it's actually reasonably cheap still, is because I invested in another battery from EcoFlow. So now when we look in here, this is what you're going to see. We open up this cupboard and I've just sat it on top of there like that. I mean, look at that, guys. Absolutely safe as houses. And it seriously works so well. But I did have one problem with the EcoFlow system. These 3 batteries here, one day I came downstairs, they were all off. That battery up there was on. So I stood there with my phone trying to figure out what's going on. Do they need a firmware update or anything like that? It never happened before. And while I was stood there doing that, my son Ted came outside, walked up next to me and turned the 3 bottom ones that he could reach off. So it's no problem with EcoFlow stuff whatsoever. It's just that I've got a very bindy little kid who just will not leave things alone. Teddy, you naughty little sausage. And if we look there, you guys know we've got our solar panels up there and we've still got fairly good direct sunshine before it starts going below the roof ridge just up there. So we're still doing really well, despite the fact that we're pretty much well into October now. We're not far off November. We're about 8 weeks off the shortest day, aren't we? So, but the other way I've managed to save electricity using EcoFlow, but also using my provider, is to tell my provider that I've got house batteries. I just rung them up and they moved me onto a really low night rate, which meant that between about 1 and 5 in the morning, my kilowatt rate is literally below 10 pence a kilowatt. So then I started to do a thing that everyone calls load shifting. Believe me, I've been on those Reddit forums. So that means I can set my EcoFlow batteries here to charge up between that time, so they're fully charged up at 5 in the morning. But also at that time, I've timed the air source heat pump to come on and the filtration system to come on for the swimming pool as well. So the swimming pool never runs at the high rate of electricity. So have a look at my electricity usage here. I think that speaks for itself. And someone even said, wouldn't it be a great idea for you to put the solar panels on top of the cover for the swimming pool? That is an absolute goat way of thinking. Honestly, amazing stuff. So you want to know how much it was? It cost £12,178, and that includes the patio, that includes what I spent on the cover, but obviously it doesn't include the things that I didn't have to pay for. That, for a swimming pool and a patio with a folding pool cover that's heated almost for free, is a bargain. Now I know what some of you are going to say. You're going to say it doesn't cover the labour and the hours that it took me to do all that, but I just see that as fun, and it was great to be making these videos for you to be able to watch. And in the next video, you're going to be able to watch me knock this hole through this wall here and to a door outside, because I am going to be installing an ensuite shower, bath and basin just through there to help the people who are using the pool, and also for me when I'm editing to go for a little wee-wee. So don't go anywhere. That next video is already available to people who are members of the channel, so click the membership button now and you will get early access. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Hold tight.